Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, January 10th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a great week. Same old around here. I feel like we're always busy and I feel like we never do anything. So, how does that work? Um, Thank you for everyone's comments. The name tags got the yes. Y'all be honest with me. Is it because you think the name tags are cute, or is it because you see the potential of me actually getting the ornaments done this year? Because either one is fair. Seriously. Um, what else? Yesterday was my mom's birthday. If I've done the math correctly, she turned 79. Um, she said she had a good day. But Thursday night, my mom's sister, um, my mom's the oldest girl, and this is 2 younger than her. She had a stroke. The last that I talked to my mom, she said that my aunt seemed to be there all mentally. She did not have any trouble talking, but I could have sworn she said it was her right arm, but now I don't remember for sure. She can't use her arm. She can move her leg, but it's too weak for her to stand on or use it, try to walk or anything like that. So I'm sure she'll go to rehab before she goes back home. But they were doing a bunch of tests and I haven't heard back on any of that. I'm just grateful that it wasn't worse. If it had to happen, I'm grateful that it wasn't worse. And that her daughter went over to her house. She had called my cousin and asked her to bring her something to eat, and when she went over there, she noticed right away. She could tell right away what was going on. So just thankful for all of the things that happened the way they did, because it could have been so much worse. What else? Yay work. I mean, that's pretty much it. Shelly Key X Stitch has been an important part of my cross stitching this week, because she messaged me and said that, I think she said she had seen it, somebody else that was having issues where they were off and having to fudge on every row and they couldn't find it, like I am with Wyatt's stocking. So they had skipped down to an all new line to put that line in correctly, and then between where they were and where that line is, to fudge that to make it look right, and then you have a clean line to start with. So I'm going to try that on Wyatt's stocking. Also, on this one, because I was whining about it last week, if you remember, because my bee faces the wrong way. Shelly messaged me about this too, because Shelly's brilliant and I'm stupid. And Dawn Frosty X Stitch caught it too. Oh, looky there. Wow. For over a year, I have been frustrated about this. And all I had to do is this. Seriously? Duh. It is cold here. It started raining here in the wee hours in the morning. Probably around 5-ish. Around probably 7:30 or 8, it turned into sleet. And after we got a good layer of that, it has been snowing for about the last 3 hours. It doesn't show any signs of letting up. If you're new here or you didn't know, even if you've been around a while, I live in Central Texas, a little bit out in what they refer to as the hill country. I'm at the beginning of the hill country. If you go west, it gets much prettier. But it is not a snowy kind of place, and especially for it to have been going on for hours. We're getting a pretty good, I mean, it's sticking. Like I said, it's been going on for hours. So we're getting pretty good ground coverage. My daughter's dog just went charging by because she's out in it. So I came out here because the temperature is not going to get very warm today. It's going to probably stay in the low 30s. I usually have out here, the garage is behind the wall behind you. This is the outside wall of the house. I think they insulated that wall and the wall between here and the house on that side. I'm not sure they insulated anything else. It gets cold in here when it's cold outside. And there is the AC and heating vents run out here. But this is the very end of the line for the unit, so it doesn't care anymore by the time it gets here. So I had to give, I usually have a little space heater out here that I use if it's cold outside. In the summer I have to turn on a fan because the cold air doesn't get all the way out here very good either. But I had to give it to Dax to go put in the well house since the temperature's not going to get very high today or tomorrow or the next day. It won't be able to get the well house cold. I mean warm. It's not insulated at all. It's a wood frame with tin, the corrugated metal around it. But if it keeps the pipes and the storage tank from freezing, then that's really all that matters. So last year for Christmas, my mom gave us each little lap quilt size electric blankets. So I'm sitting on that right now to stay warm out here. And I have a mug of hot tea. This is the, I don't know, is that Tazo? I don't know how they pronounce it. The wild sweet orange. I love this stuff. So, anyway, oh, and my video last time was a hot mess, worse than usual. I forgot to thank everyone, all of y'all that sent me Christmas cards. I so very appreciate it. And please, no one feel bad. If you did not get a card from me, I am the worst about sending out Christmas cards. That happens about once every 5 years that I'm on top of my game enough to get that done. But I absolutely appreciate the beautiful cards that I got. Thank you. And last time I said that Dax and I watched the George C. Scott's version of A Christmas Story. George C. Scott is not in A Christmas Story. There is no version of him in A Christmas Story that I'm aware of. I meant A Christmas Carol because those aren't even the same thing. So anyway, and I also meant to talk about, because I like to do a focus word for the year. This year I chose better. There's a nagging thing in the back of my head telling me that I chose that last year, but I didn't go look it up because if I forgot what it was, I really probably wasn't being that focused on it. So, and I chose better because while I was trying to think of things, I kept thinking, I want to be better about that, and I want to be better about taking care of that, and I want to do this. And so if I just try to be better at some of the little things, hopefully those will add up to something big. But it's a goal, right? It's a goal. And the world won't end if I don't get better at everything. And that by no means is any indication that I'm going to master anything. Okay, I guess that's enough yapping. We can get on to, I did actually stitch. I worked on I did work on these because y'all said yes on the tags. So, and like I said last time, I don't know where this came from. I have no markings on it. I've tried to find it online again, anywhere, and I have been unable to. But I did get another one done. And it is another one. I'm not just showing you the same one again. This one is centered far better. In this first one, I did it by the pattern where it has the little white on the lights. I didn't really care for that. So I took it off here. I like the lights better, except for this one. I know that their point is that this light sticks out, you know, or it's laying like this, but it looks like a big, the others look like lights to me. That looks like a big ball. So I think I'm gonna, I have to look. I'll probably do Kirsten's next. Yeah, it has one kind of like that too. I'm going to figure out something else because I really don't like that. By the time I get to the W for Wyatt, I should actually have it down to something that I like. But it is way too hard to pull stuff out on that. I also worked on this one from Bent Creek from back in the 80s. This is my working copy. Like I've said before, I have long since lost track of the book. It's amazing that I even still had this because it was stuck in with some other stuff. And I had to pull a bunch out last time, and basically I came and put it in. I think that's, yeah, I think mostly that's what I did. I don't know if I had this already or if I did that, but I had pulled all of this out and I came and started from scratch on that part and put it back in. So it's getting better. We're getting there. I feel like this one could actually be a finish this year. Maybe I should put it on my list. Take one of those stupid, big, intimidating ones and put that on my list instead for my 20. This one came up this week, and I told you last time that I was nervous about running out of room. This is an Imaginating ink. It's called Fall Welcome. I was like right here on it, on my fabric, and I was afraid that I was going to run out of room. And so I stitched up to get to the top edge. And I was like, oh, look, just barely. It's just barely going to make it. And then I realized that every single one of these from the tail end of the crow is supposed to have 2 stitches between it and not just the one. So there's no way it's going to fit. So I started it over. I had a piece of fabric that was similar to this, like I think it was the oatmeal. It was a little bit lighter. And it was a little bit bigger, but I really didn't feel like it was enough bigger. This opened up is about the same size as this, but instead of 14 count, it's an 18 count. So I feel confident that it will fit. So I had to restart it. And this is on my list of 20. I should replace it with this. I was not a happy camper. I'm sure that there was some foul language in this room when I realized that it wasn't going to work. Getting really big snowflakes now. It keeps changing. They get big and then back to smaller ones. My mom is all disappointed because it's only raining in Houston. I would like it better if it had not rained first. But, oh well, nothing we can do about it, right? I always feel like there's something else I wanted to say, and then I'll remember it once I quit recording. I worked on Be Thankful. It is by Diane Arthurs. It is also an Imaginating ink. Last time I had the Be, Love, Laugh. I didn't have this Be, just this one, Love and Laugh, in the IVE on Live. So this time I put in the L, and I started the twine, what do they call those, pip berries? I started the pip berry vine, goodness gracious, under it, working my way back to where it started there. But since I'm here and hoping to meet over here, I decided to go ahead and start back stitching on it also. I really felt good about getting these words done, and doing the back stitching as I go on this. So, and that went pretty quickly. But the pumpkins and basket are going to be a lot. This is not on my 20 and 20. I think the only one I worked on that is when I had to restart. Yay. But I think that B is on there, and now that I know that all I had to do was turn it the right way, it should go a lot quicker. On my calendar for stitching and my spins, one of the things that came up is Valentine was the holiday stitching that came up, and I did not have anything going that was Valentine, which seems crazy to me. But so I had a new start, and this is Lindy Stitches, Snarky Heart. It was a freebie through her newsletter a while back. I'm looking to see if I see a date on here. 2016. And so I have the pattern only. I don't have a cover photo. But I think she has it in her shop now. There's more than one Snarky Heart, but this is the one I wanted. So I don't want to show you the pattern because it was a freebie with her newsletter, but then I think she was going to be putting it into her shop. So anyway, it's like the Candy Conversation hearts. This is my start. It says, can you not? That's what it's going to say. And I started this yesterday, and I could have sat here and worked on it until it was done. But that seemed unfair to other things that needed to be done. So I did not. I did not do that. I think that is all of the stitching that I have done. Oh, I worked on my Solitude, and I did work. I put in maybe 10 stitches on the Santa stocking, but I'm going to come down and do that row and then fill in above it this week. So hopefully next week I'll be in a good place with it. Out my Solitude, I did stitch on it, but and it is Solitude by Mystic Stitch. I just did some, what you do with all these things, some filling in. Basically, when I get it out and stitch on it, I pick a symbol, whatever's highest up, and I fill in that symbol wherever it is on this page generally. So Yeah, I kind of calculated to get to finish this page, which will be like this, and then a partial page that comes down here. To get those two finished this year, I need to roughly stitch 75 stitches in it a week, which doesn't seem undoable. The question is, will I actually just sit down and do it? I'm pretty sure that is always the question. So I think that was it. I think that's all of the stitching that I have done. I have been working. I did this. This is one of the ones from the kids' ornaments that I embroidered last year. I have, so I can do this without knocking a bunch of stuff down. I have these that I'm going to put them on. And it's just a wood piece with another little piece glued on top for the ornament. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do here, but in order to get a nice round piece, I went and bought, there was no way it was going to happen if I cut it out. So, sorry, I just stabbed myself with the needle. I went and bought little wooden round pieces. They're slightly smaller than this, as you can see. I would have gotten cardboard. A lot of times with the cake decorating stuff, they'll have cardboard rounds. I have big ones. That's what I used for my Norman Rockwell piece, but there's no way I'm trying to cut out around anything. But when I put it on here, it's going to take up most of it. I'm only going to need to, and especially because I want it, see, that's not pretty. I want, because I hot glued it, so it's got some resistance there. So I'm going to put some kind of cording around there, and once I put the cording on, you're not going to be able to see much of any of it except for this little top piece. So I may paint it silver, and then I may cover the back with Christmas paper, like scrapbooking paper, a Christmas one, something along those lines. I really don't know, but I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. When I embroider, in general, I put batting behind it while I stitch, so I didn't even have to add that. Which made it go really fast, which also means I have no excuse for not getting the rest of them done. I maybe should have thought through that a little bit better. What else? I don't know. Like I said, I always think of things later. I guess that's it. It doesn't seem like there's that much because it's only been 1 week instead of 2 or 3. Hopefully, I will get back in the habit of this and stay in the habit of this. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. I guess I'm going to go in, put on some stuff. I have a recipe that turns out pretty good for a Olive Garden knockoff for their chicken gnocchi soup. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. I can't wait. I'm ready to have it right now, so there is that. Okay, I guess that's all. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful week, that you had a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful week coming up, and fingers crossed, I'll be back same time next week. All right, y'all. Thanks, everyone. Bye.